Good evening, Facebook. My name is Bobby, and I want to talk to you about relationships, about uh, what you need to do if you plan on being married, if you're already married, some good advice for having a strong marriage. In the famous words of a reverend I know, he would say something like this: I didn't come to preach to you today, but know, there's a God somewhere. And there's a God somewhere. And this God has been like around for a long time. And so, like, he has some instructions on how men and women are to relate to each other. And so, if you want to be married and if you want to have like a strong marriage, then you have to adhere to what God has said about how men and women are supposed to relate to each other. And basically, it's summed up in two words: love and respect. Men are commanded to love, while women are commanded to respect. The interesting thing is that men speak the language of respect, and women speak the language of love. So, I was watching something on TV, and it was talking about how a person can go 40 days without food, but can only go 3 days without water. So to a man, respect is like water. He can't live long without it. And love is like food. He still needs it to be nourished, but water is much more important on his agenda. And to a woman looks at love like water. She can't go long without it. But with respect, she still needs it. It's just not a primary need as compared to water. So when you look at how a man and woman are to relate to each other, the foundation has to be a man has to be willing to love his wife, and a wife has to be willing to respect her husband unconditionally. And see, that's what gets a lot of us, because we want to base our love and respect on what the other person is doing or what the other person is not doing. But it's calling a man to love his wife in spite of her disrespectful behavior, and it's calling a woman to love her husband. Respect her husband, regardless of his unloving ways and insensitivity. And when you base a relationship and a marriage on these principles, there's certain things as a man you won't do because you are loving. And there are certain things as a woman you won't do or say because you are respectful. And when you base your foundation on this, it's much easier to build a strong, lasting marriage relationship because you understand each other's primary needs. Having said that, I will conclude my session for tonight. Thank you. Have a great